What's up, everybody? It's me, True Starscreamer, right over here. And part of my resolutions is to finally get my fingers here right the first time. And yes, that might be what she said, but I digress. We are here with our first review of the year, and that's why we're looking at something that came out last year. No, this is not from the backlog. I actually just got this from Amazon, and we are looking at the Action Force Trigger figure. I have been watching the Articulated Ninja reviews, and he just keeps gushing over these guys. Kato said amazing things about these. Pretty much every reviewer who's gotten their hands on this has really liked him. This is specifically Trigger from the second wave. I heard the first wave was a little más y menos, if you know what I mean. Little hit or miss, per se. But everything I've been hearing about Wave 2 has been fantastic. So I picked up Trigger. I also picked up one of the Cavalry guys, and I'll probably be looking at him a little later this week. Not much in the box. I mean, nice box art. We got the Valverse logo here, which reminds me of the old Xbox logo. Generic on the side. We got the tech specs back, which, as you all know, Bobby Valley used to work for Hasbro, so he's pulling a lot of those vintage things out, and it's a lot of neat stuff. I know T-Man's got Rollout, I got Trigger, and I also picked up the Garrison Cavalry. I'm debating about getting Duster and Scarabs, but we'll see on that. But enough about the box, because I know for a fact right now, TM Reviews is cringing. He's thinking, open it up, so I've left this on here though to read this profile if you wanted. Let's open this guy up. Gotta say, I do like the clamshell packaging, and I like the fact that there's a liner between the plastic and here, so it's a lot of plastic, I know, but you are paying a premium for this, and it looks like you're getting a little bit of everything. Alright, here is Trigger out of the box, and I definitely messed around with this guy for a bit, and he is near perfect. I have got one really stupid complaint and one semi-legitimate complaint about him. That's it. And we'll get to that in a second. But he hits the pose nicely. His detail is great. One of the nice things about the Valverse Action Force stuff, we get hands, which is probably one of the #1 complaints from the G.I. Joe line as far as accessories go. Some have multiple heads. I kind of wish he did. I know Duster has a different head, so you can make him look like somebody else, which I think would have been really cool with this guy, especially when we talk about my little minor complaint. But as you can see, we get a great pose out of him. He has this heavy-duty machine gun. He also has a pistol. We've got like a little canteen kit on here. With the hands here. He's got his vest. I love his face sculpt. Alright, so this is my dumb complaint. I hate these headphones. These are near worthless. I'm sorry. The plastic doesn't feel right. It doesn't, especially with the hat on here, it doesn't sit natural around the head. So to be honest, that's going to go right in the plastic. Or if I get some kind of troop builder, it might go to them to make them look a little different. But that's fine, because let's bring this up here. His regular face sculpt is really nice. I love the backwards baseball cap. I love I don't know if these are the pit vipers, whatever. But this guy, yeah, I could hear him saying either bro a lot in an annoying way, or just this is the guy you really don't want to mess with at the bar. This is a very human look, to be honest, and I like it a lot. Articulation is great. Has a fantastic butterfly joint here. This is great. His simplistic design really allows you to take full advantage of it with the tank top under here. I don't know if this is removable or if it's unsnappable. I don't want to really hazard it because this guy does cost $30, so I don't want to bust something if I don't need to. The gun. I actually picked up the Charlie set of the weapons, and most of these guns are great. I love the fact that the bullets are painted on here. We do have some multiple coloring. There is a blast effect in the Charlie kit that can go in front of here, but remember I mentioned there's another complaint? There's a bipod for this, and it is I was scared. I was putting it in here, I thought this would pop right in. It did not. I don't know if I should heat this up or not, but I was really scared that I would break that. So as of right now, I am not going to utilize the bipod. So I've got the useless headphones and the bipod, but those are not killing my play value here by far. Everything else is fantastic. Let's get the gun out of his hand for a moment. And let's talk about Trigger himself. Mentioned the shoulders. The neck there's a disc joint in here, so he can look down pretty well. He can look up really high. Very expressive on this. Shoulder joints are nice and tight, double jointed here. The hands. All the hands have an in and out motion with the exception of the gun hands. And they have the up and down. I love that because now he doesn't have knives, but if he did, I could have him stabbing with them, have the pistol out there, he could adjust his pistol grip accordingly. This is very nice. Very well done. These peg holes are tight, but it was not scary switching out the hands. Hips, we do have the drop down hips, much like the Joes. Now, the actual hips themselves, first, this is really smooth. Moving it up here and down. And it's a little different than the classified series. I don't know if my camera can show, but if you ever get one of these, you look at this ball socket versus the ball point is very different than the G.I. Joe one. The G.I. Joe one is round with little bumps around it, almost like the reverse of a golf ball. This, it's more of, it's got the sphere in there with some notches in it, but it makes it much smoother. That's one of the things, if you literally look at the construction of the figure, it just feels more stable. The digital camo on the pants look great. The belt buckle looks phenomenal. I mean, I'm loving everything I'm having here. The torso. Now this is neat. It is kind of like a McFarlane. Like I think there's a double barbell in there. Like the retro Spidey. So when I twist here, yes, he's got a waist and a torso pivot. This is really, really well done. So it is not a clone of a classified design by far. It's like taking the wins of the Marvel Legends and the wins of the classified and putting it together. Really, well done. And oh yeah, we got the pistol. Now this is single colored plastic, and this has a hole in it, so I can put an effect in there. The back looks great, by the way. I got the buckles painted, which, as you know, that is one of my complaints from the classified line. And he does have a peg in the back for a backpack, which I've been kind of curious. Yes, I can put a classified backpack in there, but not with this vest on. So, yeah, this is really nice. Trigger is really well done. Like I mentioned before, he is from the Series 2, which, again, if you watch Articulated Ninja, I highly recommend. The guy speaks his mind. He comments how, yeah, Series 1 has naysayers with reason, but Series 2, yeah, these are perfect. I'm actually, the more I handle this guy, I am even more excited to handle the Garrison. I haven't gotten too much into the lore of this. It's kind of where society, government breaks down, and Action Force is kind of trying to bring things together, and I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be political, I don't know if it's just supposed to be a story. I don't know, I don't care. The more I overthink about it, the more I'll not want to get into it, so let's not worry about it. Oh, that's neat. So the drum does slide out from the gun, and the bullets are kind of static up there. That's just kind of neat. Didn't notice that before. pops right in there. Let's do a quick size comparison, and I'm just gonna bring out a Joe that I think will be very comparable to him. So let's get this guy set up. Call it a hunch, but I could see that these two have crossed paths. You know, think about Trigger, he doesn't have any kind of emblem on him or anything, so he works just as a great generic mercenary. And I could see like these guys of, hey, remember that time back in '86 when whether they teamed up together or they were against each other, whatever. This is a great, honestly a great comparison of one of my favorite figures from last year. And I still need to do like my favorites of 2022. And I'll blatantly say, this guy is probably in my top 1 or 2, to be honest, believe it or not. This guy is just about everything right with the classified I could want. And this guy is just about everything right, with the exception of a useless accessory and this bipod thing. Both have the biceps. He has those hips, the hips that are tight, his that are honestly perfectly toleranced. They're not the same height. They look like people. They look well together. Now Outback's got some of the detail, like the paint on the arm, which I loved. His is pretty plain. He's got the veins on there. He's got multiple hands. He's got more individual painting on there. Like I said, his harness, for example, could just use a little more love. His has the love. I can't say I like one better than the other. They complement each other so much better. The biggest thing that Outback has is he's got the backpack and a few more weapons. He's got the backpack and a few more weapons, and he's got the hands. But yeah, like I want to have these guys hunting down the predator. No, I'm not doing that effect again. But they look good. This is what I want in my toys. This is what I want in my figures. This guy costs $31. He cost 24 bucks. So there's about $7 difference between the two, and I'm seeing it. He's got the $7. He's got the hands. He's got the coloring, the additional paint, and again, no slouch. But if I spent the same amount of money on Kamakura, ooh, that's a great example. I spent the same amount of money on Kamakura, and this is a much better figure than that. In conclusion, yeah, Trigger is awesome. He's a badass. You can see that. I mean, yeah, he needed a Harley. He needed the Harley. I could have this guy fighting zombies. I could have this guy fighting Cobra agents. I could have this guy fighting Hydra. This is a great, fits into just about anything you want with your collection. If you want to do a one-off Valverse figure, this is absolutely the one to do. I feel very happy with having him in my collection. I am really looking forward to doing the Garrison, the Garrison Cavalry figure, and sadly, I'm not sure, I might get one more Garrison Cavalry. I don't know if I'm going to get Rollout, but that's another nice thing about the Valverse stuff. It doesn't feel like I gotta collect them all. 1 or 2, you will be happy. These are not the cheapest figures out there. For army builders, yeah, they're kind of pricey. But I will tell you, when you get it in hand, you'll feel the value. So I'm going to try to get some pictures for this guy as well. Please, leave me some comments down below. Tell me if you got some of these guys, if you got some of them on the way. You know, while you're here, give us a like if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Happy 2023, and I will also be doing a state of the channel thing going on in a little later after this video gets loaded. But really, guys, thank you for sticking with me through 2022, and I really look forward to what this next year brings. So, peace, Happy New Year, and until next time.